Hello VR gamers! Now, there are a lot of VR fighting games out for the Oculus Quest and PC VR by now, but not a lot of VR fighting games with multiplayer. There are very few games to turn to if you want to know whether you can beat up your friends or strangers without having to challenge them to a fight in the real world, which is generally a bad idea. Luckily, the fantastic VR Kung Fu fighting game Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu has added a multiplayer mode in its latest update, and now it might very well be the best VR multiplayer fighting game out there. I mean, what kind of competition does it really have at this point? Creed Rise to Glory? Creed is alright, but it leaves a lot to be desired even in the realm of VR boxing. Sorry Creed fans, but maybe that's a little bit subjective. You can be a boxer, or at least an old-timey turn of the 20th century kind of boxer, in Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu as well. And even better, you can be a ninja, Kung Fu master, one of several Shaolin monks, or a lot of other things, too many to even get close to listing here. Each of the many characters has different strengths and weaknesses and different special abilities, like one English gentleman who just has a straight-up gun, and if bringing a gun to a fist fight isn't a special ability, then I don't know what is. Outside of the vast roster of characters and arenas to choose from, there are several multiplayer game modes as well. You can have a classic one-on-one fight just like in the single player, where each fighter has 3 lives before they lose, and a free-for-all mode where each fighter gets a single life and the last one standing wins. There's co-op too in this multiplayer virtual reality fighting game, so you can comp stomp with your friends or strangers as much as you like. What's really a ton of fun in Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu's multiplayer mode though is arcade mode. It's chaotic, fast, fun, and is as entertaining to watch as it is to play. In arcade mode, every fighter has just a tiny amount of health and gets thrown into the arena with 1 or 2 other players. One knocks the other out, and then another player spawns in to take their place. Whichever player gets 5 knockouts first wins, and getting those 5 knockouts is a real thrill ride. You're always low on health and fragile, so even if you've played the game long enough to have some semblance of form or skill, you'll very easily devolve into panicked arm flailing. Keeping your cool in a VR fight has never been harder. Getting multiple knockouts in a row feels absolutely amazing if you can swing it, and getting knocked out is just an opportunity to see what sorts of techniques and styles your opponents are using. You'll generally be back in the fighting pretty soon too, so you won't get bored. Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu's multiplayer is fast, chaotic, fun, and sure to get you a little sweaty, just like any good VR fighting game, or in this case, any good VR multiplayer fighting game. So if you want an intense and skill-based multiplayer VR fighting experience, then check out Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu. The multiplayer update has made this game much more competitive and interesting, even after you've beaten the single-player opponents. If you're still waiting for Thrill of the Fight 2, and want another virtual reality multiplayer fighting game to keep you busy in the meantime, then this VR game will definitely deliver. I found a match almost instantly every time, and it's never failed to get my heart rate going. Enjoy!